decided to involve Dr. Luke on this album. Why did you choose to work with him?
LA and New York are typically the first two places that sell out for an act like this. As you can see, the entire upper bowl still has 70% of the tickets left.
Why she chose to work with Dr. Luke when her new single is about women empowerment.
Look, I understand that it started a lot of conversations.
It's not looking good for Katy Perry out here, y'all. Katy Perry's Lifetime tour is off to a challenging start with thousands of empty seats reported at several US venues, and the internet thinks they know exactly why. Despite her status as a pop icon, ticket sales have been sluggish in many cities, prompting online scrutiny over Katy's tour success. This is Katy Perry's first major tour in years, and tickets went on sale on January 29th, and the numbers we're seeing, you guys, it's definitely got the internet talking, because they suggest limited interest across multiple markets. It has not been translating to ticket sales, with up to 70% left available in some major locations. This is insane, you guys. We're talking about Katy Perry, the powerhouse behind Firework, Dark Horse, Roar, and you mean to tell me the Katy Perry is struggling?
Katy Perry has barely sold any tickets to her upcoming tour, and there is one shocking reason as to why this could be. So Katy Perry is going on her Lifetimes tour, which is basically her version of the Eras tour, meaning she'll be performing songs from all of her albums. Now, we know how hard it was to get Eras tour tickets. And Katy Perry is a very popular artist, like not as big as Taylor Swift, but she is big. So a lot of people were expecting this tour to sell out very quickly. However, these tickets are not selling.
Ticket sales, as you can see at the Target Center in Minneapolis, she has barely sold, I would say like 30 to 40% of the tickets. Same for Phoenix, Arizona. I was literally shocked when I saw how many tickets she had left to sell at the Kia Forum in Los Angeles, because LA and New York are typically the first two places that sell out for an act like this. And as you can see, the entire upper bowl still has 70% of the tickets left, maybe even more. Then we have Raleigh, Phoenix. Like, I am truly shocked by this.
There's a few reasons why people think Katy is in her flop era, and that she's pretty much dug her own grave with this one. So let's cut to the chase and get right on into it. So Katy Perry's tour spans 25 dates across the US. It looks like the ones international, especially Spain, contains the most excitement for this tour, but people are pointing out how Katy Perry is seeing a slower turnout, specifically in the US. And that's not all. In Raleigh, North Carolina, the Lenovo Center is experiencing particularly slow sales, with an estimated 60% of tickets still up for grabs. Now, let's talk about it, shall we? A lot of people are speculating one of two things to be the cause of Katy's downfall. Some are speculating that it may be tied to the backlash surrounding her collaboration with Dr. Luke on her latest album, 143, which we'll be getting into Dr. Luke and his past as a person involving Kesha, and some also believe she lost even more fans after her legal battle over a mansion purchase involving an 85-year-old veteran, Carl Westcott, which we're also going to be getting into that story in a bit. It could also be that people can no longer afford tickets in this economy, or they're spending it on other artists that they favor more, and that they just have to be super selective with the concerts and tours they're going to decide to go to because of inflation and the economy that we're living in. So there is a chance that this might not be entirely a Katy Perry problem, but I know it's tough to get concert tickets right now. It seems like Katy is charging around $70 for her tickets, but nonetheless, that is still very expensive in this economy to normal class citizens. And also, with major artists like Beyonce and Lady Gaga touring this year, Katy might just have slipped further down the priority list for some fans, and that's completely understandable, and that's people's own prerogative. We have seen this happen with J-Lo recently as well, where she was hardly selling her tickets, and she ended up having to cancel her show. So last year, Katy Perry spoke about her controversial decision to release a single with Dr. Luke. Her single was produced by Dr. Luke, who Kesha accused of drugging and raping her. In 2014, Kesha filed a lawsuit against Dr. Luke, accusing him of SA, emotional abuse, and battery. She claimed that Dr. Luke had drugged and raped her and subjected her to years of emotional manipulation and abuse, which she said contributed to her developing an eating disorder. Their legal battle gained widespread public attention, with many fans and celebrities showing support for Kesha under the hashtag Free Kesha movement, calling for her release from her contract with Dr. Luke. Although Dr. Luke denied the allegations, Katy's decision to collaborate with someone accused of such actions, especially on a song centered around female empowerment, sparked intense backlash online, you guys, with many criticizing her move as insensitive and problematic. After everything Dr. Luke was accused of, have, she made a single at the time called Woman's World, and people were just calling her out and criticizing her, being like, this is very hypocritical. You're talking about women's empowerment, but you're working with someone like Dr. Luke. Kesha also herself tweeted LOL around the time, seemingly rolling her eyes at Katy's move. Katy Perry appeared on the Call Her Daddy podcast last year, and Alex asked her about working with Dr. Luke despite the allegations against him. And rather than directly addressing the concerns, she responded, he was just one of the many collaborators on the project. And as you could expect, people online didn't take her answer well. It was just a frustrating watch. She didn't even answer the question, was super vague and brushed it under the rug, prompting a wave of criticism on Reddit.
Ask you about one collaborator in particular. I know a lot of people have expressed disappointment and were really upset that you decided to involve Dr. Luke on this album. Why did you choose to work with him?
Look, I understand that it started a lot of conversations, and he was one of many collaborators that I collaborated with, but the reality is it comes from me. The truth is I wrote these songs from my experience of my whole life going through this metamorphosis. And he was one of the people to help facilitate all that. One of the writers, one of the producers. And I am speaking from my own experience. Like when I speak about Woman's World, I speak about feeling so empowered now as a mother, as a woman, giving birth, creating life, creating another set of organs, a brain, a heart. I created a whole ass heart and I did it, and I'm still doing it, and I'm still a matriarch, and feeling really grounded in that. That's where I'm speaking from. And so I created all of this with several different collaborators, people that I've collaborated with from the past, from Teenage Dream era, all of that.
The thing about working with him is goes on about a bunch of unrelated Cool, it came from you. You still worked with the effing and gave him money. You're not empowering anyone, Katy, just yourself. She didn't actually answer the question. She buried it under a bunch of unrelated, I'm a mom now like that answered the question. This person said, I need to take over these people's podcasts because I would not let these stupid ass celebrities give these non-answers. This person, she made a whole ass brain but didn't keep any of it for herself. Adding to the wave of backlash Katy has been getting recently, Katy Perry was also under fire recently for a legal dispute with 85-year-old veteran Carl Westcott. For those unaware, in 2020, Carl sold his $15 million mansion to Katy Perry and her fiance at the time, Orlando Bloom, just months after purchasing it. But post-sale though, Carl Westcott attempted to rescind the property transaction, claiming that he was mentally incapacitated at the time, that he was not of sound mind when he agreed to the sale. This prompted a lawsuit Katy Perry ended up filing, and according to the lawsuit, a combination of his age, recent surgery, and the opiates he was taking multiple times a day left him mentally impaired. Katy's business manager, Bernie, named as the defendant in the lawsuit, insists that Carl was fully competent when he hired a real estate broker, negotiated the commission rate, scheduled showings, and considered multiple offers. And Katy Perry ended up winning the lawsuit against this elderly man, and his family have been having a lot to say about Katy Perry, calling her an entitled, greedy human, that she and Orlando apparently made everything in this whole entire process so difficult for them. A judge ended up deciding that Carl was of sound mind during the deal and ruled the transaction would still stand, leading Katy and her actor partner to countersue the former homeowner for $6 million in damages and income loss due to not being able to rent out the home in the time that the legal battle took place, a move that had only intensified public criticism. Chart Westcott, son of Carl, who has Huntington's disease, told the son of Katy she has no sense of fair play, no empathy, zero empathy, quite the opposite. He continued that his father is currently bedridden with the decline in his health being constant. The worse the condition my father is in, the harsher they have been in trial, Chart said of Katy and her lawyers, adding, there's no real explanation other than greed. He claimed Katy and Orlando are unforgivable how they have conducted the affairs, stating they have been unreasonable from the start. So yeah guys, between concert struggles, fan backlash, and legal battles, Katy Perry is facing a challenging period in her professional career. All over Reddit, there's hundreds of people talking about this, the fact that she's having a really hard time selling tickets for her Lifetime tour, but I definitely want to know what you guys think about this. Do you think this is an after effect of the controversies she's been embroiled in and people just being upset at her for her actions and working with Dr. Luke and how she responded to that in the Call Her Daddy interview? Or do you think that this is just due to people just growing up and not really being interested in Katy Perry as an artist as time has gone by, or maybe that people just simply can't afford it? Let me know what you guys think. I love you guys so much, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.